Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Everybody, it's your boy Trav with Trading Lifestyles. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoy the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the like bell notification so that you never miss an update. Today, I'm going to do a quick market recap of this morning's trades, and then I'll be sharing a few lessons along the way, starting with the NQ. Now, if you looked at my previous Sunday watch list, um, you know, I did speak about this level breaking, right? This is our standard. Whenever you have a line of resistance, right? Whenever that line breaks, this will be the symbol that you see, right? It's called a break and retest. If you don't know, this is where it breaks, right? So let's say you have resistance, right? Like a ceiling of a house. It's resistance, pushes down. Resistance, it finally breaks out the roof of the house. It has to come back and retest. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me how. Just follow the lead, right? It will do a break and it will retest that break. All right? And it's going to look for it to make sure basically it's going to look for it as support, right? So it needs to know that this is strong enough to bounce off of before it continues to push. So you will see this symbol here happen. Now, I knew that coming in. Today, I took a little bit of a loss. It's just part of the game. You're not going to win everything. But it's some lessons that I kind of want to start teaching, right? Regarding this, and that the fact that you don't have to necessarily experience as many losses as possible, as long as you can learn from them, right? In this case, this is one of the lessons that I learned. Now, let's keep things in perspective, right? The actual break and retest, right, on today. Yes, that is the overall symbol. Now, where things are in context, right? Let's keep it in context now. All right. Let me remove this and so we can kind of get a breakdown of understanding. Whenever you see, right, pre-market it pushed, right, but I just got chopped up a little bit today. It wasn't clean price action, right, as I was expecting. It ultimately did. If you can see here, I'm coming down to a different time frame. Where are we at? The 1 hour. Let's come down to about the 30, right? Get a good look at things. All right. You see how this starts, right? We drew these lines for Sunday, right? You see this was the resistance. It broke the resistance, all right? Came back, retested. Now, I'm an open market kind of a trader guy, right? Most trades, good ones at that, right? I'm a little biased, but come within the first hour of the day. It just is. Sometimes it does take, latter parts of the days, but for the most part, overall average, you're going to be looking at those major moves, good setups, breakout, break and retest strategies. You'll be looking around the first hour of the day. If we come down to, let's say, the 5 minute, we want to look at the first hour of the day. I want you to take a look at how choppy this is. Now, granted, you could have popped this if you were ballsy enough, but we are already at like highs in a sense, right? Me buying or selling, right, into this could have ripped at any point. That's why I didn't want to take the first candle of the day, right? I wanted this thing to come down, find a little bit of support, and then rip. If you notice, it just chopped around. It just chopped around. It was really, it was really no real opportunity, no real flush. This could have been a liquidity squeeze. Hindsight is always 2020. This thing could have popped down because honestly, technically, these are really like the highs, the previous highs. Though yesterday's highs were here, I mean, it could have bounced anywhere in this vicinity. It could have reversed. So I didn't feel comfortable taking, not only that, but let's keep in mind, I like to trade with the trend, okay? The overall trend is telling me that it's going what? Right? Overall trend is telling me it's going high. So I'm not going to be the guy that goes against the trend. I want you to understand something, right? You have a little bit of money. The bank has a lot of money. This is letting you know large money wants to push high, right? You can look at it, right? A wise person can see, right, that this thing is just rocketing high. Do not be the guy that goes, you know what? I want to go against this. That's not a wise decision, man. It's just not. Right? I want to go, I'm going to put whatever amount of money, right? This is millions of dollars, by the way. Millions. That's pushing this higher. You take whatever amount that you got, right? And you go, I'm going to short the market. Man, the banks will eat you alive, man. I'm not going to even lie to you. It doesn't make sense. That's not a good trader. If you see all of this strength and momentum going up, don't be the guy that looks to, short, unless you have an entry, right? Shorting into supply, like it already broke, right? So this is the symbol again, right? Let's keep it in context. This is the symbol, first leg, all right? Second leg. So this is where the market opened up. You're pushing down into this zone. It does not have to come to this zone. That's a area of interest as traders. The last high, right? It doesn't have to technically come down here. It could come here, right? It could stop shorter and keep ripping. It doesn't even have to turn around and come back down. It could have came down and just shot all the way back down here. The market is really inconsistent, right? So you really honestly have to take your best common sense, right? And look at the situation at hand with all of the information it's giving. If we all know that once you break a resistance, it will retest here, right? And you know that symbol is the one that you're looking for, and we know that the trend is going up, you may want to wait for a resistance to get retested, right? After it broke that resistance, wait for that retest and then get in for the highs, right? So that was the game plan coming into today, all right? Now, where we fell short, I'm being honest, it's just one of those days. It chops around, man. It happens. The easiest thing to do is to not blow up your account, okay? These are those days, right, where price action just does not respond. It just does not go, right? This is one of those days where it just was not in our favor. It happens, man. It's part of trading. That's why your wins, right, in trading have to be so much higher than your losses. All right, look at this. It was no opportunity to really win. I'm being honest with you, right? Your win did not come until, what's this, 12? So this is military time. Somebody tell me what 14, here, let's do the math really quick. So that's 12, all right, that's noon. All right, so 13 is 1, 14 is 2 o'clock, 14, for almost 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, right? Damn near 3 o'clock when this thing finally started moving in the direction, right? By that time, man, I mean, look, my first hour of the day, this is what price action was. So on days like this, which happens, just try to recognize it fast. If you see price action, the fact that we're pushing down into a support, not the wisest time. You really kind of want to wait for a break. It's not smooth. It's just not smooth, right? It's no other explanation. It's just the market, man. It's inconsistent. This is part of the game. It is part of the game. Do not come into trading thinking that you have to be perfect. No. What you have to do is when your wins have to, your wins will be so much bigger than your losses. Just when you lose and get out of the game. Lose. Do not revenge, quote unquote, revenge trading. That's when you take a loss. You can't, in your psychology, you can't or don't want to take a loss. So then you get back in there to try to go earn some more money, to try to go, erase that loss and end up losing more money. Now you're compounding losses. You're compounding losses. I'm sorry. Now you're losing at a higher rate than you would have if you just would have took a L and removed yourself from the game. It's part of the game. Trying to avoid it, trust me. I'm not perfect, man. I am not perfect at all. But I understand that I've been doing this for a while. I understand how to take a loss. honestly, that's if I were to give a rule of thumb, learn how to lose. Lose some money. Do not blow up the account, but lose, right? Understand what that, you have to identify who you are as a person. How do I feel when I lost? What did it make me feel like, right? You have these type of thoughts. You need to identify. I know this sounds real left field, but I'm keeping it 100 with you. The minute you can identify how you feel in a loss, right, and identify that feeling and understand that that's just a feeling. It's part of the game. Do not take it personal. Take the L for that small portion. Remember, trading is unlimited. So you took an L. Okay, bounce back. It comes with the game, but your wins will be so much larger. Recognize your loss. Take a loss. Do not compound your losses. If that is another point that I want to kind of segue into, do not compound. Take a loss, move. Don't go back in there trying to grab it all back. I'm telling you, you've heard and you will hear war stories, right? You can literally Google this information. Traders, man, I lost, went back in there, and I lost 10 times more. Like, it's ridiculous. You got to kind of identify what type of person you are. Trading is really kind of finding out yourself, to be 100% with you. Yes, we can make money, but it's also the psychology parts behind it, all right? Take a loss and move on. You have to be okay with understanding the larger picture. One day does not determine if you're a good trader or not. A month does, right? So today, long story short, took a little bit of a loss. We're looking for a bounce back. We just got chopped up today. It's part of the game. But I'm not going to blow up my account. I'm not going to lose it all, right? And I suggest that you don't either. Moving on with the recap. That was just my little preaching moment, right? Leave a comment. Tell me how you think. Scale 1 to 10. How is my preaching skills? Leave it in a comment. All right. Let's jump on ES. Again, just morning chop, man. It really wasn't. I mean, look at this price action. Literally, this price action just came back and 930 dropped and it literally did nothing. Literally just wicked around. You were literally just in here getting chopped up. So, look, it's just one of those mornings, man. It happens. I'm not going to really harp on it too long, you know what I mean? Because we still got tomorrow. We still got the rest of this week to earn some money. We're just going to bounce back. Understand, we're going to take our loss like a man. Stand up on your own too. Accept for what it is, right? And then keep it rocking, man. We still got plenty of money to make. Just whenever these days come, don't worry about it, man. Bounce back, all right? Overall, market still on an uptrend. Let's take a look at these higher time frames to get an idea. All right. Where are we at right now on YM? All right, YM. We're about to push into resistance, right? This is like the ceiling, right, of a house. We're about to push into that. My understanding, if you throw a ball and you throw it at a roof, right, or you throw it at the ceiling of your house, it will ultimately bounce down, right? It makes sense to short if the market is showing you a strong short. But the market overall is still pushing high. Do you want to be the first guy in the line over the hill? No. You want to let this thing develop. Let it show you its hand. Be late to the party in trading. Never be the first guy. Always be late to the party, right? Get confirmation that this is the direction that the market wants to go and then attack, all right? So we got YM resistance coming in, all right, for tomorrow. All right, we're actually sitting and we're holding a strong support right now on ES, all right? So if you notice here, this little area right here is support, okay? This little area right here, let's take a look, 1 second. All right, so you gotta break. And this area is holding and it's bouncing off of it. It wants to kind of take out these highs. Do I see that as an opportunity for us to take advantage of? Potentially. Do I really want to get involved in anything unless it's, I mean, I don't like the chop in here, to be honest. All right. I mentioned that yesterday. I really don't like buying at highs. It's just not It's just not enough structure for me. I need this thing to come back down here, to be honest. I don't like buying at highs, right? Some people do, right? I'm just not one of them. I think you have a stronger position, right? If this thing were to fall back down here, take out these lows, come back down here, now we can start, looking at buying some highs, right? Let this thing fall a little bit, get it at a discount. We buy low as traders, we sell high, right? Unless it's a short, right? Then obviously, same concept, right? We're just buying here and saying that it's going to fall down, but we need space for profit, right? And we need it to make sense off of previous information, right? This is all previous information, right? This is kind of like, let's say a rocket took off, right? Down here, right? Rocket takes off and it just goes high, right? That's cool if you got in right here or down here, but you're trying to get in up here. It's just not a good decision, man. It's just not. Wait for price to come down some. Right now, I mean, you do have a break of a major structure. That's the only reason why I would feel a little bit comfortable, right? But this, it just has to look good, right? The price action right now is just not strong. I mean, even if I come down to the 15, like just this area is just not pretty. I mean, you broke, you came down. I mean, you got in the game kind of around 3 o'clock, literally right before the market closed. You had an hour of action, right? If you were sitting around and from 9:30 to 3 o'clock, then cool, you caught something. But most people, man, like this was your day. Most people, this was your day, right? So understand that. Just keep the losses to a minimal if you have to take a loss. Like today, I took a loss, right? I got to accept that and come back. But I know that I'm going to win, right, for the rest of the week. Or my goal is to win, right? Not to say that I want to start tilting my account and going 30 contracts. Like, I don't need to do that, right? Let's just stay the course, right? Stay the course, and you'll come out on top, all right? Any other topics I want to kind of cover with you guys? I mean, we covered some learning lessons. I really didn't feel comfortable trading right into a support. It's just not enough. It's just not enough meat on that bone for me. It's just not enough. I mean, it was just not a good day. Period. Point blank. It's just not a good day. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep rocking, right? Keep the losses to a minimal. All right. I am actually creating like a kind of like a just keeping track of my trades, and I'm going to release a kind of like a day 1 to day whatever video, all right, on just keeping a tally on them so I can drop that for you guys. I am doing some work in the background as far as good video topics. But tonight, just wanted to kind of recap and kind of let you guys understand losses are part of the game. Trust me, there's not a perfect trader out there. If you hear somebody say that they're a perfect trader, they're capping 100%, right? The best of the best takes losses. It's just the nature of the beast, man. But understand, the wins that you're going to receive are going to they're going to be so much more larger than your losses. Like today, I think I had like a $400-$500 loss, right? My wins will catapult that. You know what I mean? It's nothing for $1,000, $1,200, $1,600 day. It just, I mean, it's just that could literally be for the rest of this week, right? But us as traders, we can't allow a loss to change your mindset. All right? It's just part of the game. Understand it comes with it, and then move accordingly. Do not blow up your account. If that's the lesson of tonight, when you take a loss, not even if, when you take a loss, do not take it personal. The market sometimes, it does what the market does, man. That's just the name of the game. You're paying your dues. Understand that, but understand your wins are going to be so much more larger than your losses, okay? Also keep that in mind. Well, look, after all of that, we're pretty much done here. I'd like to thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this recap gives you some valuable insights and a real world look at the ups and downs of trading, to be completely honest. If you found this to be helpful, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe for more content, and as always, peace, love, and good trading. Y'all take it easy. See you next time.